Okay guys, my little shed where I went and got my tools. I've been working on cleaning the yard. Oh, Boo texted me. He's got some important stuff today. He usually has important stuff about once a week. So, there we go. Alrighty. Now, I use sanding blocks for a lot of my work, but sometimes, like this job, I'll actually go out and break out the sander. If you don't have a sander, that's okay. I use sanding blocks. I can't remember where one is right now. I haven't used one in a while, but I keep them in a shed. They're about this big, about that thick. They're rectangular, and you can get them at Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot. You get them usually around the drywall or the like the paint drywall section. And you can use it to sand your stuff and get a really good grip on the actual sanding block instead of buying sanding paper and then having to go get a block of wood and then nail the sandpaper to the block of wood. Sanding block's just easier. It's a little bit more expensive, but in the end it's definitely worth it. So now I'm going to get to sanding. Woohoo! So I'm just gonna put you in here because this is going to be time lapse. Well, it is getting a little windy and dark outside. Might get some rain today. So, as you guys can tell, we're finished. Desk is quite dusty, so I need to wipe it down with a damp, wet rag. Damp, not soaked, to get all of the grunginess and the powdery and all that stuff out of here. And even for some of the little indents, I ended up almost completely sanding them out. So I'm going to go get a wet rag and then we will be right back. Okay, before we go with wet, let's do once over with the dry rag. And if you are allergic to dust, dander, any of that stuff, you're definitely going to want a mask for this. This desk is very old, so I technically should have been wearing a mask. I know I'm terrible. I was not. You can definitely see how aged it is, the old paint underneath. We used an old paint peeler. You can tell it right there where it started to eat off the old paint. Didn't quite get it. I'm debating on whether or not I want to go down another layer. I got a little flap in the wind right here. I got to glue. And even after you hit it with the dry cloth, you're going to want to get a damp cloth because you don't want any of that dust or anything getting caught up under here and giving you an uneven surface when you're getting ready to apply your new surface. So, yeah, I feel like, well, let's just go, because we got to sand it again anyway after we fill these holes. So, I'm going to go get my rag wet. Oh yeah, so it's getting pretty nasty out there. So, like I said, damp, not dripping. And I did only half of it. That way I could use the other half to go through and, you know, dry it down if I needed to. So we're just going to go in and make sure and get all of the dust and dander that's left. If you really like the way your dresser looks now, I mean, you can gloss it if you want to with a high gloss or even a medium or no gloss clear coat. Use a brush though. I tried spray paint. Really didn't go over too well. Alrighty. And see, there's still a little bit of, quite a bit of gunk and dander. Of course, that's on the side. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave, because this is literally what the whole dresser looks like. Or the whole, I always call it a dresser, it's a vanity. So, alright, let's get our Arlene's. I need to actually get a paintbrush or something. So guys, those little plastic cards you get in the mail, this one's debt consolidation. When you get these in the mail, save them. They work perfect for this, and well, of course, they're free. So we're going to go ahead and just pop the top off this glue, since we're going to need quite a bit of it. And just start going to town. Oh yeah. All of our gaps are covered. For now, you can go wash off your card and let it dry. Okay guys, day 2. Got some tacky glue sitting up here, but that's not what we're working with. So you can't really tell from the angle you're at, but the main, actually, I'm probably gonna have to get up on the stool again. So we got right there, and it is smoothed out a lot now. And we also have one there. This one is almost completely flat. I mean, I'm not catching my fingers on anything there. Looks really, really nice. This section right here is just smooth. It's flat. Right there is the biggest gash I got. That one's still pretty deep. It's got a nice lip on it. Here, you can kind of tell. So, we gotta fix this one still. And then, I know there was a pretty good size one here. For the most part, it's smooth. I got some rough edges right here and here, but all along here and all of right here is nice and smooth. There's an indentation here that still needs fixed. And then this corner over here still has a nice big gouge in it that we gotta fix. It's not as bad as it was yesterday, but it still needs a lot of work. This one also is going to need a lot of sanding work when it's done. So, alright, let's get started. Okay guys, so I got kind of a new angle set up with my mini tripod. Now you can really see these grooves I have going on here. I got one, well, yeah, anyway, you can see that I have one here, this nice huge one. Aside from the one on the opposite side of the desk at the top, these are my two biggest. The deepest one is obviously right in between the primary tripod. So I'm going to be putting away the sound for a little bit because we're going to rebuff these out and prep them again to take another. I mean, we could just recoat them now without sanding them, but if you really want it to stick and want it to last, go ahead and buff it up a little bit. That way it gets a little grab going on there and holds on to it really good. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Alright guys, so you can tell we got a little bit of texturing going on right here with the glue, and that's okay, we can fix that. The glue kind of receded here a little bit as well, but we can fix that as well. But now we have, especially right here, we definitely have a lot of textures to grab onto now. So let's go ahead and get in there with our glue. Big bottle of Aleene's Tacky going on here. We are not using the spray, we are using the wonderful liquid. And we are just going to plop that down on there. Fingers, so see, very stinky. So this little spot got filled. This big spot. This not so big spot, but it's definitely deep. This spot, and it's focusing on audio. So this spot and this spot. Woohoo! And I also kind of went over this one a little bit because it was raw. And I went over this one. This one was the one I was just doing off camera. Just slid a little bit over it. There's no like groove in the wood or anything. I just don't feel like getting splinters every time I run my finger over it, especially until we cover it. So that should about do it. I think the only one we're really going to need to work on is this one. Oh yeah, sorry about the audio cord, guys. And this one. These are the two primaries. Hey, wait. Fluffy! There he is. Hi, baby. Says I was hiding under the chair, Mom. I was. Okay. So, with that, I'm going to call it a day. Say bye, Fluff. Bye. Say bye. Alright, guys. We're set up for a new angle today. You can see Mr. Fluff. Mr. Fluff over there. Okay. Oh, I should probably, turn on a little. We don't need it. I think we're good. Mr. Fluff. What? No, I gotta work, sillies. Okay, so I got masking tape. I got wax paper. Scissors. You may need a razor knife. I don't think you'll need one for this step. But mostly just masking tape, wax paper, and scissors. It doesn't have to be wax paper. It can be scrap paper. Sorry for the crinkle. About the length of the desk. I don't think we'll really need scissors for this step either. But we are going to line it up along our edge. We gotta be more precise with the masking tape than we do with our wax paper. So what we're gonna do is, and I'm sad to use this masking tape because I know it's quite old, but I can't find my painter's tape right now. Usually I would be using that. So we're just gonna line it up as best as possible. And I got a curved edge over here, so I'm going to have to wrap the tape around it. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and go all the way around the desk now. I will show you when I'm finished how it looks. Okay guys, so for our round corner, it's not going to be as easy. Obviously square corners are pretty straightforward, but you're literally going to have to do this in pieces and just line it up as best you can. Let's get zoomed in on that for you. See, I need a longer piece. So we're going to go ahead and put that piece in. And then, oops, I dropped my piece. That's alright, we can get another one. Okay, so you see that dimple right there? It's because of this imperfection. Just push that in nice and good. Now there's a spot right here that you can hopefully, yeah, you can see. And we're just going to cover up that little spot with this piece. I'm not happy with it, so I'm just going to reposition it. And I feel like there's one small spot here, if you're a perfectionist like I am. Oh look, there's the garbage truck, and I think I forgot to put out the garbage. Oh well. I'll go dump it in the other half's garbage can. Terrible. He's got one of them 300-gallon ones behind his house. There we go. Alright, looks good. Now we can finish taping off this side, and then we can go ahead and add our wax paper we have here onto the masking tape we have already prepped here and we'll be adding here. Okay guys, we are officially taped off. I taped up this one up against my back panel and attached it to the curtains. This way it would protect everything. I have this all properly mounted. I have my microphone at the bottom. You can probably tell I'm not using it right now, but I have it attached so that way if I do decide to use it, it's there. All wrapped around the other side and taped up to the curtain on top. And it's free-falling right here. It's not physically attached, but with the way it is, it's not going to cause problems. The spray glue will stick to this. It's not exactly known for being runny. It's like spray paint. If you spray too much, it'll get runny. So if you're not experienced at spraying it, please get a little practice in if you decide you want to attach your paper this way. If you're not very experienced, please attach your paper this way. It will really help you in the long run not to have runs down the back side or whatever side you happen to be doing it this way on your piece of furniture. Alright, let's get to spraying and gluing. Let's get to spraying. For this stage, we need our paper, a knife, some scissors, and our spray glue. Now, I mean, we probably could have done this before we laid out all our paper and such, but either way, it's not really going to make a difference. I need a piece of tape right there. There, no more complaints from the wax paper peanut gallery. Alright. So I know this paper has been sitting in storage for a little bit. I got a ding there. I got some dings here. And this tore a little bit, so I cut back off that extra piece. We're just going to lay out our paper. Okay, we have an estimate. So I'm going to cut, there's a line right here that I measure to. I'm just going to cut on this line. It's going to hang over a little bit. That's fine. We can trim it later. I think I did an exact cut before I laid the last one down, but that is because I just used packaging tape to mount it. This time we are making it permanent. Alright. But I also, if I do this in stages, then that means I need to do a perfect matchup on size anyway. So what I'm doing now is I'm just pressing down on the edge of the paper where it lines up. Oh, I'm gonna have to move that over some. So I just have our paper here lined up on the edge, just perfectly matched up where it needs to go. You probably see my head in the shot. That's okay. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of masking tape And this is just for measurement purposes. There we go. Just 2 small pieces. If your paper is fragile to masking tape, you're not going to be able to mount it, so it's going to be quite a bit more difficult. If you want, you can mount your transparency to your paper before you mount it. That might help if that is the issue, but I can already imagine in my head how difficult it would be to mount the paper or the transparency to the paper before it was mounted to the table. Okay, now I'm just going over. I like using the tape because it kind of rubs off some of the ink. Now we're just going to have an exact measurement of where we need to cut. Well, it's shot quite a bit, actually. I'm a little surprised. I can adjust, though. I'm going to move it up a notch. You'll probably see my legs or my feet, but that's okay because you can see what I'm actually doing. So I'm just going to press on the edge here. And see, now you have this kind of line, shadowed line. And you just line up your ruler on that line. And use your razor blade. Don't use your rotary blade. You're actually going to have to get a craft knife or a razor knife for this to make it that much easier. Rotary blade will, you can try it, but it's going to be probably a lot more hassle than it's worth. If that's all you have, go for it. It won't hurt you to try. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's probably going to be a pain in the patootie. Come on. There we go. Yeah. Okay. And our final cut should separate. Alright. So the front half of our desk. Oh, a small spot over here. That just doesn't want to cooperate. Okay. Look at that. So it's not 100% up on the edge. And I can release this tape and, drag it to reposition it the way I like. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's your preference. And you can even take and put like some trim on the edge of it if you like when you're finished too. If it doesn't look perfect or you just want to add a little extra pizzazz. I probably will not be doing that. Okay, let's trim this one off. There we are. So now we have this long piece of paper we can save for a project. Now we're going to do the same thing, which now I don't think you'll be able to see. But you're going to do the same thing wrapping around the edges. For the circles on the corners, I might just cheat and use my corner chomper when I'm finished cutting the straight lines. If not, you're going to have to fold it down like I showed you on this process and go in with scissors and trim it. So I will be finishing up the sides and then we will be almost complete with our new desk. Buddy, this is where the mounting points for the tape are really going to help. Now our paper is trimmed. I did not use the chompers. I just use my scissors and eyed the corners of the paper. Now comes the fun part. You will need your glue. You can use a bone folder or an old plastic card. So we're going to leave these two mounting tapes in place. We're going to go ahead and just lift this up. I think I'm going to be a cheater, pumpkin eater. You can either have someone help you lift it up, or you can do like I do and have a magic tripod in the back and just tape it up to your magic tripod, which it's going to fall because the piece of tape is too small. There we go. And you guys are probably going to be seeing this primarily in view, but I know I'm also going to have to tape these two up, so that may not have been the best idea. Okay, so what I'm personally going to do is I need a piece of paper. I have cardboard sitting behind me, and I just grabbed a piece. And if you're doing it this way and you have these pieces hanging, you can just go ahead, take your cardboard and push your piece out of the way and keep it covered. This way none of the glue will get onto your color surfaces. Be careful doing it this way. I cannot guarantee you will not get glue on those surfaces. You may want someone to help you with this. So let's get started. If you do get some on your top portion, which I did not, thank goodness, don't touch it, don't play with it. You can just let it dry and then go ahead and poor Fluff, he's down there dying. You can go ahead and let it dry and then put your clear topper over it. Now, at this stage, you literally have to get everything in place super fast because I did not use the repositionable. Alright, now we need our card and our bone folder. And we are just going to go over and smooth everything out. This way we do not end up with any air bubbles, and I can definitely see some popping up. So go to town and start squeegeeing as fast as you possibly can. Get all of those air bubbles out, and I can and a giganto one there. There we go. Alright, from a personal standpoint, I probably should have used the repositionable one, but I didn't know how long or if it even ever did dry. That is the reason why I didn't use it. I haven't used this stuff too much before. So, you know, I wanted to be sure when I do use these products that it's not going to go anywhere, you know. I'm actually going to have to use glue for that one. This corner did not stay, so I'm going to have to get some glue for that one as well. But the centerpiece is mounted, and we are happy. Oh, yeah, got another big bubble here. It's toasty in here, and my AC is turned on too, so. Whew. This is the hottest room in the house, though, so. Alrighty, guys. Now I'm just going to go in and fix some of the slight glue spots that need a little bit of glue. And I will come back to you and finish up. Yeah. Just rest it there. And smooth out our glue. Oh yeah, that's where it's at. And just lay down our edge. We're going to have to do the same thing here. Yeah, there we go. We got ourselves some glue now. Oh, there's the AC. I thought so. Thought so. Okay. Now we're just going to... I don't know how much of this you can see, but I'm just sticking the paper or the scissors under the edge of the paper and not getting it on the top of the paper. I bought this really awesome contact paper. I'm kind of sad though because it's like a few centimeters too short, if that. So I do have some HD clear mask or packaging tape by Duct Tape that I really like. It's nice and thick, that will cover that small spot. I mean, I'm kind of sad that it's not going to be exact, but that's okay because I didn't want to buy anything that would have been too long anyway. You can even just put it in the middle if you want, and then trim out the edge of your desk with, like, I don't know, anything you want. I like a flat surface, so I probably wouldn't trim it out with anything except for maybe some decorative washi tape. Even washi tape's pushing it because after so long it starts to degrade. I guess you could actually... Fluffy! What were you doing? You stop that. You stop that. So, the cool thing is you could, I guess actually washi tape's a really great idea because you could interchange it when you wanted something different. Especially if you like want to know your filming dimensions, you can use the washi tape to lay out your filming dimensions. Okay, so the it is going to be exactly 37.5 inches. And I like this contact paper because it has the measurements on the back. So, I'm probably going to just square it up because it doesn't have, like, it goes by tens, I think, on here. Yeah, it has centimeters too. Yeah, it goes in sections of 10. Alright, so let's match it up on the inch mark. Ooh, we're gonna actually have to probably razor knife this. But it's in between there and there. And you can just cut it on the line, cut it bigger. That way you can always trim down. That's one thing I always learned with my mom in sewing and working with fabric too, is you always cut bigger, not smaller. Because it's always easier to take off than it is to add on. I really like that washi tape idea. And I got some Paris washi tape too. Sorry if the scissor sound is overpowering my voice. Alright. I'm going to leave these grated teeth on here that now have glue on them because the glue is not quite dry yet. This will be a good tester though for how good that, ooh, comes right off. I like that. Okay. So we have to, you should probably have 2 people for this. My luck, I'm going to completely mess this up. Don't forget to take off your mounting tape. This would be a terrible point to have your mounting tape permanently added to your desktop. So I kind of want to don't know. I guess we could start from this end. Oh, you know what? I know a little secret, kind of. I think, don't quote me on this, but this is supposed to work. Now, obviously, they can't stick together. Oh, yes. Okay. So now that it's separated, you can just put that down. No one cares about that one. This one you're going to have to take off. Let's get this show on the road. So we're going to push this that way. And I really don't want to get too far into removing all of the contact paper at once, because obviously we don't want it. You guys have mailed off packages or tried to laminate stuff with packaging tape and ended up with little wrinkles, I'm sure. We don't want that, so we're going to do this in sections. So let's go ahead and we're going to fold back our contact paper, the bottom half, and we're just going to go to the edge and find out where we want it. And I think I want it right in the middle, so I have equal gaps on the top and the bottom. That way I can use my washi tape idea. We're just going to hold it in place. Make sure that everything is even. And your contact paper will be rolling up. So this is really going to help to push it up to where it's not going to contact your desk until you're ready to press it into place. And just do it gently. Start from the middle, work your way out, or start from one side and work your way to the other. Obviously, don't start from the outside on both sides and work your way in. That could be bad juju. Alright. So I'm going to get this bad boy and just push it down and into place really well. I am very happy with that. I will take down the camera momentarily and show you what we have going on. Now see, our contact paper rolls out perfectly. We have a little lip on this side, so we can go ahead and trim it. I'm going to set these scissors right here. I don't know what was on them, but it's now all over the desk. It's a good time to really test it out, am I right? All right. I feel like I'm still going to use the packaging tape. See, so the contact paper is folded back in just that small section. That way you can get it mounted and get it started. And I do think that I'm going to, again, like I was saying, put the masking or the packaging tape here and here. And then I can, you know, cover it with washi whenever I feel, you know, if I don't want to see that seam or whatever. Okay, so now we're going to roll up our contact paper. And we're going to go ahead and pull out. We got a point going on here, so. All right. And we are rolling, literally. And again, if you end up with too many air bubbles, you can stab them with the knife. But if you are slow and steady on this one, you will win the race. And yeah, I'm noticing here we have a few small air bubbles. Nothing crazy that we can't fix. We do have an imperfection or two in the top of the desk that got caught up in this. That is perfectly okay. It is an old desk. If you did not sand it a lot, then you are going to have those imperfections. Oh my, I am loving how easy this is. It looks like you guys will not need 2 people at all. This is just beautiful. Don't forget to pick up your scissors or anything else that you obviously don't want to become laminated and one with your desk. This would also really work if you wanted to lay down photos. That is actually a really cool idea on top of your desk, or, you know, pictures. Even if you just use your personal desk and you don't want to film on it, that would be really awesome. Now that I think about it, that is actually a really awesome Christmas gift. Oh my bejesus. Not gonna lie, right now I am a little in love. Now, I don't know if you guys can see them or not, but I do have quite a few pockets of air. And I think my credit card, debit card, Walmart gift card, whatever you want to call it, is in the kitchen. I'm going to go get it, because I personally feel it is going to work way better for this stage than our bone folder. Alright. And now we just start smoothing it out. That, I think, our desk is finished. I mean, I gotta trim off these edges, and I'm gonna use the razor knife the same way that I trimmed off the edges of the paper. But now I have a wood desk topper, and now it is laminated. So if you guys want to change up the top of your desk, it's looking old, it's looking dingy, or you just have a contact paper that has a beautiful map, or I don't know, maybe some cute little princesses or Hello Kitty or something that's more to your style, this would be the perfect opportunity for you guys to customize your desk however you see fit. Alrighty, so I am going to probably take a photo for the pinup, and then I will be getting back to a bunch of projects. I have so much ephemera I'm working on right now. So much ephemera. I am like having ephemera nightmares. But I hope to see you guys soon. I hope you guys loved this tutorial. If you want to see more like this, please let me know with projects and stuff to make your craft room more functionable for you. I really love this idea because you don't have to go out and buy an expensive desk with beautiful wood topping that you really, really love. You can just go pick your topper you love and install it. Keep in mind, for those of you guys who YouTube all the time, you maybe want to be a little picky and not pick something too busy, because I know that, especially if you watch a lot of YouTube videos on how to officially YouTube or how to take photos to promote your YouTube or promote other goods, that you don't want it to be too busy in the back and distract from whatever you are working on. So keep that in mind if you are designing your desk for that premise. If you are not, go to town, have fun, put anything you want on it. All right, I hope you all have a wonderful day. I will see you next time. I am so in love with my desk. So, quick update. I just want everybody to know this very glossy masking tape, which matches the gloss of the peel and stick stuffs, is just wide enough to use right here on this gap. So if you guys want to use a form of just regular Scotch tape, I would prefer the high gloss brand. That way it matches in perfectly. Or if you'd still do want to use the masking or the packaging tape, if your gap is any bigger than this, you'll have no choice but to use the packaging tape, or you just may have to go up a size in the contact paper. So I hope that was a big help, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.